Welcome back to Tambay TV. I'm your host, Pael Fajardo. With me, my co-host.
Willie Wilson in the house. What's
There
up?
you go. There you go. What's up, Willie?
What's up? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. We got another special guest, my favorite guest of all time. I'm not gonna do a long intro like I did last time. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for my brother, Sonny Sison. Booyah!
Yes, sir.
How are you, Sonny?
Bored out of my mind when I'm not working, man.
At least you're working, man.
I'm not knocking that part. I'm just saying that, days off, I gotta stay quarantined in the hotel. So there's only so much stairs that I can walk up and down. You know what I mean?
At least you're
I,
staying fit.
I
bro.
literally know what you mean. Literally,
Right.
because I was there. I was in that quarantine.
Yeah, Willie was in the bubble, was in the PBA bubble, something similar to what you're in. Describe to the people watching, bro, where you're at. Or can you talk about what you're doing? I think you can, right?
You can throw a little something.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's what I like, the little something, something, bro.
It's we picked up from last year. We started production Feb last year, and then the pandemic hit, of course, and everything got locked down. So
Mm-hmm.
couldn't shoot, and all productions were trying to figure out how to work with this Corona thing, and there were a lot of regulations that were going back and forth between the Interagency Guild and the uh, Film Development Council as to what rules would they abide by.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't know if this project would actually restart again, but you got to
Uh-oh.
hold on one second, yo.
Okay. Can you tell them what
Booty
it's
call.
at? What it is, though?
What's that?
Yeah, it's hold on, let me blow it up.
Ooh, blow it up, bro.
Once my camera off, hold up.
Go.
Turn my camera back on. Sorry. So, yeah, it's HBO Asia Go, HBO Go
Yep.
for season 3 of Halfworlds.
Booyah! And it's shooting here, locally, right? You're shooting it locally?
Yeah. First HBO series shot in the country. So,
Nice.
following the first season, which was shot in Indonesia, second season was shot in Thailand, and this is season 3.
Damn.
Pina.
Pinas. Proud, bro. How's the setup, man? Because, Willie, talk about your experience in the bubble, and let's see if it's like something similar to what they're doing out there.
Okay, well, obviously you get your testing done before you head in, and then when you get in, you quarantine for 24 hours. Just lock down in your room for 24 hours. Can't leave, can't even stick your head out the door. They deliver the food to your door, knock on the door, or hit the doorbell, and then you open the door, bring it in. After 24 hours, what we stayed was like a compound. Okay, so the hotel with a little walking path outside.
This is in Clark, right?
Yeah, this is in Clark. We're sharing the hotel with the 11 other teams, so 12 teams total,
Damn.
including the PBA staff. So the hotel came with a swimming pool and a gym. It was 5 stories. So when you talk about walking up and down the stairs, we did that because the queue to get on the elevator, because there was only 2 elevators, was long.
And
I'm
three
talking
people at a time, right?
about 3 people at a time. So I'm talking
Shit.
about you have a whole team coming in and trying to get to their floor at the same time. That's what, 20, 30
I'm
people.
listening.
And then you're all in line for the elevator. It's quicker to take the stairs. So,
True.
So we have that aspect. Now, with the recreation aspect, we have 12 teams there, including the PBA staff. You can't keep the PBA staff from using the facilities as well. So you get 1 hour, I call it rec time. You get 1 hour rec time a day. So you get to choose either, do I want gym or do I want to use the pool? So you get 1 hour a day, and then the times are always split up. I love the sun, so I'm trying to get into the pool in between eight to three. Sometimes you get stuck with that 8 p.m. time, or that 7 or 6 time. I'm not trying to use no pool, but it's better than nothing. So that's your 1 hour rec time, and then you can always go outside and walk around the compound.
Uh-huh.
Now we get tested frequently, and there were times where there were false positives.
Oh
There
shit.
was never any confirmed positive case, but whenever there was a false positive, we'd have to lock down. So that's another 24 hours minimum stuck in your room.
Shit.
Now you go from the hotel to the playing facility and back. That's it. So the only time you get to see the outside world is when you're in transit.
How about you, son? Is it the
So
same?
that's
Is
what
it
we went.
is it as strict? Where you guys are locked?
Yeah, it's pretty strict. Well, once we're in the hotel, I mean, they just Barangay, I guess because of rising cases, is just mandated to the hotel and its guests that as you go in and out of the hotel, you also have to wear a face shield as well as the mask.
Uh huh. Well,
Um,
that's what with everything.
but yeah, same thing. Everybody gets tested. I don't know why. Maybe it's because you guys have a better setup in terms of payment on the RT-PCR test, where you guys get it back faster. But ours takes 2 to 3 days to get back when we first
Oh
quarantine.
yeah, I think ours is probably around the same, but
Mhm.
because they kept all the teams separate, so you don't really cross paths with other teams, or that's how it was set up to be, wherein you're not supposed to cross paths with other teams.
Right, right. But yeah, so the only thing different is I think after a certain amount of time, once you take the first test, then you take the antigen just to
Okay.
make sure that you're still negative. And with everybody has their own departments. Of course, I'm with Sun, so I have different Sun people coming in at different times depending on the days that they're working. But I try to keep my main crew with me. Try to get them on as many days as I can, just so time is saved in terms of what we need to do on set, or if I need to choreograph and previous stuff. It's a lot faster because they already know my style.
Yeah,
Um,
be efficient.
Aside from that, we work out right here and just outside my room in the open elevator area or the hallway. So I've been beating them down with some sticks.
There you
And
I
go.
saw your video with Elric. You guys repeat each other with sticks.
yeah, but no, those are padded. Those are padded. Even with the hand guards and the forearm guards on, those padded sticks hurt, man.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. It looked like it hurt. Elric injured
Yeah,
himself. He's
but
like, I'm in pain,
we were
bro.
just we're just hand sparring. So you know, we're building it up to where we'll be mobile, where we can move, and then we can hit the head, and then we can hit any target. But step by step.
Mhm. Here's my question, bro. Before you guys get on, what is the set? If you're here in the Philippines, are you shooting CQB or are you using like outdoor shots? How does it work?
Both, depending on the complexity of the shot. If they can't find location, for example, let's say I don't know that there might be a special request for a type of cave or something like that, right?
Okay.
So if there's not something that's natural that way, they build it on a soundstage. So
Where in
exterior shots.
where in QC? Let's say
Huh?
where in QC would you shoot something like that?
There's sound stages everywhere, not just in QC. I mean, we're not limited to staying in QC.
Oh, okay.
It's just that we all have to quarantine in this particular hotel, and QC is central to all the locations that we need to go to. So we're shooting, way past Antipolo. We're shooting in Bulacan. We're shooting in Manila. So it's a matter of what's the most convenient to all locations, or is most central.
Okay. I thought because I imagined like Of course, we can't be as specific as like the what's that thing? The volume that they use for the Mandalorian. Have you seen the Mandalorian?
Yeah, I've seen some. I'm not. Here's the thing, bro.
Uh-huh.
I'm not a big sci-fi guy,
Mm-hmm.
and it's my boy who runs the Mandalorian, Ryan Watson.
Ryan Watson is.
Ryan Watson's the stunt coordinator of the Mandalorian.
Uh-huh.
So we go back, almost 2 decades now, and
Mm-hmm.
he's a funky white boy, man. He's got his background is in Wallum Kung Fu,
Nice.
which is
I love how you said
based
Kung
out
Fu
of
right
Florida. It's the first cat that brought out his grandmaster is the first guy that brought out the Shaolin monks out from China.
China.
But aside from that, Ryan also has a Eskrima experience, Arnis experience. So it was really cool that he's using that with his Kung Fu experience
Who
in
taught that white
choreographing the
boy
fights.
art?
Huh?
Who did he learn his Pinoy from? His Eskrima? His.
I'm not sure. I don't know, but I know I hired him for a couple gigs back in LA back in the day, and one particular day was like it was kind of an open performance night in Hollywood,
Uh-huh.
and my whole thing was like combining martial arts with dance and music.
Uh-huh. Capoeira style?
Capoeira.
Nah, just hip hop beats, man. Hip hop. I did that separately. I did a capoeira thing, blended with Polynesian dance before.
Uh-huh.
But for this particular night, it was like live martial arts performances, and I had Ryan do some stick demo stuff with my boy Chemo. Chemo's one of my SLD class.
Man, Chemo.
So
Chemo again?
The mixed martial artist, right?
No, not Chemo Leopoldi, man. Not the big boy. Not that cat. Chemo's like a 5'2" Filipino dude.
Okay.
Cool.
All right.
Another question on the set that I've been trying to imagine in my head, bro. Is it true that because I've been watching some videos about some reviews of WandaVision and all this shit, they're saying that even on set, even when they shoot now, they shoot socially distanced. That you could tell if it's a pre-COVID or a COVID production. Are you guys aware of that when you do that on set?
Not for us, because again, while staff or crew has to maintain that social distancing, even with masks and everything, the testing is very important in that sense. If you got to do an intimate dialogue scene, and you got to be within an arm's reach of somebody.
Uh-huh.
If we're doing fight choreography, sometimes we got to go hand to hand, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's just trying to maintain the protocol.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But you got to do what you got to do, which is why it's the necessity to quarantine people, not have outside people come in and things of that nature. So it's a real strange world that we're in with it. But so in terms of anything where numbers of people have to work together, it's COVID's going to be around a long time, man. So.
Don't say that, dog. 2 more years.
No, it's real. I'm being real. Come on. Let's be real.
You're not getting rid of COVID. So,
right.
It's there now. It's there, just like the flu. From way back. This is just a different type of flu. So, a much
right.
type of flu, which is, why we got it. I'm not a proponent for vaccines, but hey.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the question now, right? To vaccine or not to vaccine. And I respect people's decisions not to, but in terms of say international travel,
I'm getting it.
In terms of international travel, all these countries that are, super strict about lockdowns and stuff like that, they're gonna require people to show that they've been vaccinated.
Right.
It's not necessarily going to be a global mandate, but every country is going to have their own rules. If you're from America, if you're from Florida, New York, or California,
Oh,
where the
nice.
highest COVID cases are, and you're flying to someplace in Asia, they'll be like, better show us that vaccine paper, man.
Is it ironic that the virus that
True.
came from Asia is prohibiting them to coming to? I don't know, or maybe it was always like by design. Some conspiracy shit in my head, bro.
Yeah, no.
You know what though? There's some legit stuff to that. You know, one of my boys I just caught up with. He's in the medical industry back in the States, and he was telling me like, "Hey, man, so you know, it really did come from China, right?" I'm like, "Okay, explain to me."
Okay.
So you know about Harvard?
Let me hear this.
He said that the Harvard dude who was busted, right? I don't know if you know the story.
Yeah, the one in the
guy was
World Union Summit or some shit like that.
He was a doctor out of Harvard or a scientist or something or other, hired by China to essentially they were researching, viruses and bacteria, right? So the whole thing about was it developed for biological warfare? That is like up for grabs, whether or not it's true or not. The whole animals at the market thing. Nah, someone got sick messing around with them viruses and walked out sick, and that's how that spread.
So is it U.S. made or China made? What was his take?
It's a combination of both. It was
U.S. hands, China.
U.S. hands developed in China. Yep.
Yeah, I read about that too, man. Anyway, moving on from the COVID shit, you got anything for Sonny, Willie? Before we hit, I got some deep questions in my head.
So, the show you're working on, it's originated in Indonesia. Is that correct?
First season was Indonesia, and from what I understand, there was kind of like a through thread. So some characters from first season jumped into second season, and then we were gonna bring, I think, somebody over from second season into third season, but it's not connected per se to those stories. So it's really an original here in the Philippines. So it's pretty dope. Yeah.
So when you bring it to the Philippines, the actors from Indonesia don't come over, right?
No, it's all Filipino cast, man.
Oh, it's all Filipino cast.
Yup.
So it's like
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's like a new season of Halfworlds, essentially, right? Anthology style.
Essentially, yeah, essentially. And what's dope about it is, I had to watch season 1 and 2 and bring some similarities of the action stuff into what we're doing here. But I was, of course, in terms of supporting the story, I was able to create the own styles here.
Bro, can you give us like a brief synopsis of Halfworlds? I know it's about okay, I'll let you do it.
I'll say as much as I can without giving anything away.
No, just like not the current one, but the one we're coming from.
The previous two seasons.
The previous two, yeah, because I haven't seen.
Okay, so essentially, right? Every country has its folklore.
There you go.
Right, every country has its mythology. So it's an interaction of a beginning to an end with how humans have to interact with these mythological creatures.
There you go. So I'm guessing if it was in Indonesia, yeah, I'm sure we have a cap. I'm guessing we'll have the tikbalangs and your aswangs.
Keep guessing.
We're gonna have some.
No, but for Indonesia, what was it? I can't imagine because I thought it was like I knew it was like supernatural stuff like vampires and shit. In Indonesia, what was it?
So if you're familiar with Indonesian folklore, if you're familiar with Thai folklore, it's our take, it's our stories, same thing.
Now, how is
Nice.
this going to compare
But
to?
you mix in the human beings and all that kind of stuff, you know.
Yep, yep,
So
yep, yep.
it's a
Like,
pretty.
hype it up. How is this going to compare to, what we've seen on local TV here? Like, it was at Encantadia
He's worked on that too.
and
You were on that. You did that too, right?
and stuff like that. How is this gonna compare to that?
I did first 3 seasons or first 3 episodes of the remake of Enka back in 2016,
Yeah.
and okay, I'll say like this. So in terms of jobs that I do, I make it a prerequisite. I don't know if I talked about this last time.
Mhm.
That I'm able to rehearse the actors as many days as they can give me, and do a pre-visualization of what I think the action should look like. Meaning, as I create the choreography, and then I cut and shoot it, edit it, and give it to the director to look at and see if he wants to use that as a template.
Okay.
That's not common at all here. You often have to create the action right on the spot. Especially for Philippine TV, because I think that their time restrictions, they often feel that having to spend for a rehearsal is too much money. You know, and is the cast available to make it? Oftentimes they aren't, so they rely heavily on doubles. Right, they rely heavily on doubles. Right, so I'm lucky in being able to talk to production about why they're bringing me on. You know, if you want something that my work speaks for itself, I could do this all day, you know, but I just go here, take a look, this is what I do. And they go, yeah, we want that. And I go, well, if you want that, you got to give me this.
Okay.
That's why you got your meal.
Because they work hand in hand.
Yeah. Imagine, bro, if you got a bunch of people, 5 guys that you've never met before or who've never played with each other, and you go, okay, go play a game against that team over there that's been playing for,
That's
the whole season together.
Yeah.
You guys gonna be able to gel?
Get your butt kicked.
That's right.
Throw
Right?
the ball out of bounds and,
Exactly.
and turning the ball over left and right.
So yeah, right. Preparation's everything, right?
Yeah.
So now that you're in lockdown, you get to prepare. You get all the time in the world, right? More.
Depends, because things can change on the fly. You know, we have a schedule in terms of pre-production meetings before each episode, and we talk about what needs to be done for the upcoming week. But it's production, you know. Sometimes things change in a second, and you got to be able to adjust. But for the most part, we've been pretty good here on this set.
In a week, how many days do you pound it with work?
Usually it takes me a day to figure out the choreo, depending on how long the director wants the scene to be. You might say, okay, I need a minute and a half, or I need 3 minutes of this, or whatever. So yeah, it takes me anywhere from 6 hours to 8 hours
A day.
to figure out choreo per 1 day, for 1 day. And then the next day I'll shoot it. Next day I'll shoot and cut and edit.
Oh, and even before you present it to them, it's like you're producing it.
Oh yeah. So the director will look at it and go, okay, looks like we could do those amount of setups, or is there a way we can break it down into like only 6 setups where I might have 13 setups, you know?
Okay.
And that's time consuming when you're moving camera around and lights around and all that kind of stuff. You know, true action should be handheld camera, 1 camera. And that's why Hollywood takes its time in shooting an action piece. You know, let's say it's a 5-minute fight, that might take a week to shoot because they want to make sure that everything's right.
Man, I bet that John Wick stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine that.
Because that John Wick stuff gets like from here, and then it's all up in here, and I mean up here, and it's crazy.
Well, Chad Stahelski, the director, was stunt coordinating and doubled Keanu for Matrix. So that's how they got to know each other.
See,
Okay.
And then Chad himself and a bunch of guys with his crew, 8711, came from the Inosanto Academy. So they got that background in JKD, they got that background in FMA, they got that background in BJJ, judo, and all that kind of stuff.
Keanu was doing all that.
Right. So Chad is extremely trained in that as a true martial artist. Plus, he's a stunt coordinator, and now he's a director. So, right, the action is really important.
Shit's tight.
As opposed to a director that might be about dialogue and drama and emotions, you know, he may not be able to feel that what he needs or understands translates into fights. I look at fights the same way a director looks at dialogue. You know, we're speaking to each other with hands and feet.
I love that. Yeah, that's nice. But I got a big geek question I've been wanting to throw at you for a while now. Do you think there's too many comic book movies? Or is there such a thing as too many comic book movies?
It's the now thing, you know. It's been for a while, and
I know, but is it too much? Have we gotten to the point of saturation of too much?
Well, you know what the comic book movies have done? It's killed the martial art movies.
Has it though? We got Daredevil. You worked on fucking Iron Fist, but Shang-Chi's coming up.
Are they regular martial artists? They're superheroes.
What? Give me a definition of a
Shang-Chi's
regular
not.
martial artist.
Do we have any more Chuck Norris movies? No. Do we have any more Steven Seagal movies outside of his fat ass being? You know what I mean? No, we don't. We don't have the regular martial arts story anymore.
Would you consider
they're all superheroes?
Rambo? Would you consider Rambo being something similar to that?
Rambo's an action guy. There's action movies, but there are no more martial art movies. Unless it's coming out of Asia. But Hollywood, non-existent.
Well, I'm trying.
There are no more Chuck Norris movies. There are no more Lethal Weapon movies. There are no what's that cat's name? Jean-Claude Van Damme movies, you know?
Have you seen Jean-Claude Van Johnson? Have you seen that? Jean-Claude Van Johnson.
Which one?
Jean-Claude Van Johnson.
I don't know.
I've never heard of him.
That was like 2 years ago. He plays himself.
Oh, yeah, I heard about it. Yeah.
The action in that is good. Fucking
I heard it was great.
JCVCD still can do his kicks, bro. I was amazed. This guy's like fucking, what, 60 now?
Probably.
And he was still doing his spinning roundhouse kick.
Thinking about how the superhero movies, I don't, you know what? Prior to this whole superhero movie
explosion,
fascination came out, explosion. I don't remember when was the last true kung fu movie.
I was thinking about that too. I can't.
So
yeah.
I don't.
In terms of coming out of Hollywood.
Yeah.
Coming out of Hollywood.
Trouble Little China.
Yeah, that was in the.
No, that was 80s.
90s?
It had 90s. What was the one with Brandon Lee? Not the
Rapid Fire.
Rapid Fire. No,
that was early 90s.
Early 90s.
Early 90s.
So
right.
It's really been a minute since we've actually seen like American Ninja or Bloodsport or anything like that.
Cobra Kai, motherfucker! Boom!
That?
Cobra Kai. Cobra
yeah,
Kai.
That's
you know,
the fight scenes are fucking pussy as shit. I love the story, but the fight scenes are like.
You know what I think? What I think killed it is all this CGI now.
That's true. Also,
it's always been there. It's always been
but
there.
not to the point where it's now they'll film like Avatar. That was purely green screen. I mean, they'll film
Mandalorian.
Yeah.
No, but
It's
then
all
the
green
light-
screen, man.
it's the
Green
volume
screen,
now.
and
It's not just green screen. It's actual lighting and all that shit. That would
whereas before, I mean, like if we're talking about Bruce Lee, Chuck Norris, and Steven Seagal, Jean-Claude Van Damme, these guys were really on set, had hand to hand, you know, like feet on the ground, filming these fight scenes and stuff like that. Where now it's just
Well, if we think about it, we just talked about it not too long ago. John Wick would be considered a martial artist, right? But we don't think of it as a martial arts movie. And I think for myself, I actually like that vibe better.
that's like Rambo in the City, though.
Right, because it's a part of the character. It's a part of it's what the character does, not who he is. You know what I mean? Imagine Bourne, the Bourne Legacy, the Bourne movies are like that.
Oh yeah,
Badass martial artist, but we don't think of him as being a martial artist, right? Because it's the story.
or is
And
it
then
MMA that killed it?
which one?
MMA, isn't it also MMA that killed it? You know what I mean? Because now it's not just I know Aikido or I know Kung Fu, because then you could build movies in those. But nowadays it's more of like, if I know a little bit of jiu-jitsu, I gotta know a little bit of boxing because of the UFC. You know what I mean? Even in
Maybe.
the UFC.
Well,
To some degree.
Rambo was doing that back in the day, right? Because Rambo,
Right.
he'll shoot you, he'll hit you with a bow and arrow with a grenade tip, or he'll choke you out. He had it all.
Right.
Rambo
Right.
had it all.
Yeah. It all comes down to what the character is capable of doing. You know what I mean? And what's the story about? If you think about James Bond going back to Sean Connery, he would karate chop people. You know what I mean?
I remember those.
Like it's that.
Oh yeah. Y'all might be too young.
No, I remember those because my folks used to watch that when I was young. You know, they'd have the movie marathons of all the James Bonds.
Right.
It would just go all throughout. And then Austin Powers came with the karate.
Wait,
That's right.
Warrior. Have you been watching Warrior? I texted you about that, right?
Hey, wait.
Yeah, of course, man. Those are my boys that are running that show. You know? So they did season 1, season 2. They shot that in South Africa.
No, but that's Kung Fu. Wait, are you saying something?
Straight up.
Are we talking about the same Warrior where they got like cleavers, meat cleavers?
Yeah, that
Yup.
one. That one.
It's on Cinemax.
That's current. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I didn't know there's a new season now.
It's
There's
on
season
HBO
2's
Max
out.
now, I think.
Yeah, season
Okay,
2's out.
I got it. I mean, I've seen all of season 1. My man, he's half white, right?
Is he?
No, he's playing full Chinese.
Yeah, he's full
I
Chinese.
thought his character was half white, or he.
The original Kung Fu series with David Carradine was half white.
Yeah, half white, but David Carradine was like fucking full white, which is wasn't he?
But the character in real life, the dude is half white. Am I right?
Nope.
No.
Not even half white?
No. I made a dude. Isn't that's Kung Fu? That's Kung Fu. That's Kung Fu, specifically Kung Fu, right, bro?
Yes.
So that's still, I dig it. I fucking dig. No, that's, I mean, right? They do fucking fights.
Andrew Koji.
He's our new,
Yep.
he's our new Storm Shadow, by the way.
Yep.
Mortal Kombat,
Nah,
motherfucker. That's coming up.
The
That's coming out.
The dude
Right.
is half Japanese, half English.
Oh, really?
Andrew Koji.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we stand corrected.
Yep. I just saw Koji and I looked at him. I go, well, he don't look white to me.
Slants.
He's
You
British.
know how they call each other slants. Slants.
Oh.
I love that. That's something they made up just for that show. I had to look at it. Did they really use slants before? I like that the poetic license and the non-PC of season 1. Season 2 got a bit okay. Somebody's gotta be gay again. You know.
Oh, here we go, man. You know
Yeah.
what series I just finished watching a couple weeks ago?
Uh-huh.
Deadwood.
Oh, how's that?
It was really good, man. There's so much profanity and
Which one?
you know,
Deadwood.
Oh, yeah.
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 You know, I got 3 kids and they're in there saying cock. and I swear to God, every 20 seconds you hear the word cocksucker, and you know, I love the setting where it's a historical setting. It's a Western, and then you got the Chinese people there, and that kind of reminded me of Warrior because it's
Warrior.
a similar setting, except Warrior. I think it's set in the UK, or is it set in America as well?
America.
It's supposed to be the Wild West.
Okay, San Francisco, right?
Yeah,
something like that. So those are the type of series or movies that I'm drawn to, where it's historical, and that's what reminded me of Warrior.
Exactly.
Except you talked about in Warriors they call them slants.
Slants.
And in Deadwood they called them something else. I forgot
not
what it
chinks.
was. But not chinks. It was just something crazy. I gotta research.
Now you got me thinking what it would be.
I haven't seen it though. But speaking of Warrior, to everyone who's wondering, Bruce Lee wrote a series called Kung Fu back in the day, which he was supposed to star in, but then something got fucked in the mix, and then given up to David Carradine, right? So now this is Shannon and Shannon, his daughter, and everyone else. I think who's his co-writer, Sonny? Would you remember? It's not just Shannon didn't come up with the story. Who came up with the story for Warrior?
I'm not sure who the co-writer is, but it's based on Bruce Lee's writing.
Based on Bruce Lee's writing. So Assam is David Carradine. I love it. I mean, for me, right? Sonny, what did you say? That we got
Warrior is based on Bruce Lee's writing.
Exactly. Yeah.
The idea of Kung Fu was supposed to be Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee. Yep.
Right. I think the producer's name was Sterling Silliphant or something like that. And the argument was that the America isn't ready for a Chinese lead.
Yeah, there you go. I didn't want to get into
that.
They
always looked at the Chinese as less than, you know, the masculinity wasn't there, and this and that, right?
Right. But, you know, interestingly, with Bruce having to go back to Hong Kong because of the process for him in the U.S. was taking so long, and the stereotypes, he felt like going back to Hong Kong for a short time, at least to work on writing or maybe his martial arts. But along the way, you know, he had did the Green Hornet, and when he came back, he realized that he was approached by, I think, Raymond Chow, and it was a huge hit back in Hong Kong, but it wasn't called the Green Hornet. It was called the Kato Show, who was his character.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
He was the star.
Right?
I just finished listening to a podcast. Shannon Lee was a guest, actually.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
Should have tagged me in that shit. I mean, put it in the group. Anyway, what was it?
Yeah.
It was interesting that Bruce had to go back home to become huge for Hollywood to call back on him again. But, you know, when he did The Big Boss and then Fist of Fury and all that kind of stuff, they you know, Hollywood paid attention. They were like, holy shit, where's this guy coming from? He's racking up so much, you know, record box office stuff in Asia. They took note.
Yep.
And at the same time, the guys who were back in Hollywood who remembered him still kept pushing his name. Where they finally agreed that, you know, they would do a co-production, Hollywood Hong Kong co-production. Now, I just found this out recently. Jim Kelly wasn't supposed to die. It was supposed to be John Saxon.
And
yeah, see, but he was black. The black guy always got to die.
Right? But yeah, they switched it up because John Saxon had a name.
Yeah, see, they come straight out of a comic book. They always got to kill the black guy.
But you know what though? That blew Jim Kelly up, because you remember he made like a bunch of movies after that where he was the lead.
That's true. So did James Coburn. Was it James Coburn? Was also.
James Coburn was a friend of Bruce Lee's and trained with Bruce.
Exactly.
They never made a movie. They never made a movie together.
Which one was? Okay. I thought he was O'Hara.
O'Hara was John Saxon.
No, O'Hara was the born.
Oh no! My bad. O'Hara was what's that guy's name? I see his face.
Boards don't hit back.
Yeah.
Boys don't hit back.
That cat.
With the scar.
That cat. Bob Wall. So
Okay.
he was a tournament fighter and one of Chuck Norris's boys.
He was
Huh?
legit. He was legit.
Yeah, he was a real fighter back then. So he's one of Chuck Norris's boys, and he could take a hit. So Bruce Lee really laid into him with that sidekick.
Hey, he knocked him all the way back, man.
Yeah.
Made him crazy. He had to break the bottles.
Right? And then, from what I understand,
Love that movie.
there was one tape where Bruce tried to kick the bottle out of Bob Wall's hand, and there was a slip up or something where he cut Bruce's hand, and Bruce had to get stitches.
Damn.
Didn't know that.
Yeah,
Right?
I know that too. Yeah. But Warriors up there. We got Mortal Kombat coming up. That's gonna feature some real martial arts.
That was a dope trailer.
That was
I saw
a dope
the trailer. And I was like, oh, hype me up.
You see Jack's arms get pulled out?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And
How you just going to show that in the trailer already, though?
I'm sure they got more.
Right.
I'm sure they got
I'm
more.
sure
They get more. But for me, getting Hiroyuki Sonata on the cast is like this is brilliant.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
Scorpion.
He's badass. And what I found out was that he was a big star here in the Philippines. He shot some movies here in the Philippines.
Really? Which ones?
Yep.
Which character is this guy playing?
Scorpion.
He's playing Scorpion.
Okay.
The guy from Last
He was
Samurai.
the right hand man of the lead samurai in the Last Samurai.
Last Samurai.
Remember him? He was the mean guy who was beating the shit out of Tom Cruise all the time.
Yeah.
Oh. and
He's
then he
also
became
in the
his best
Wolverine.
friend.
I wish I could share screen to show people. He's also in the Wolverine. Remember? He's also the
Yes, that's right.
He's in a bunch
Right.
of movies.
He's in a bunch of movies. But I
Yeah.
don't remember him being here in the Philippines. What did he shoot here?
Yep.
Wait, let me look at
Hold
it. Hiroyuki.
Yeah,
He's a good actor. That guy's a good actor.
Yeah, fuck
dude,
yeah.
I love that guy, man. That guy's dope. If I could cast him in a movie, I would.
In Game of Death, that came out. What year did that come out?
1978,
And Enter the Dragon came out
73.
Game of Death. Okay.
I don't see him in any Filipino thing here, bro. Or was it TV? Was he in?
Look up Hiroyuki Sonata.
I am. I'm on his
Dude,
IMDb.
IMDb.
Dude is in Westworld, right?
The third season? Was it the third season?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think
Westworld.
That shit got too woke for me, man. Which I want to get your thoughts on that. When shit gets too woke, I'm like, me out. I can't see any Filipino.
You know what? I just
Not a Filipino production. A movie made here in the Philippines, shot here.
Oh, which one is that? Which one is that though?
I don't remember.
Okay.
It was some time ago when he was young.
Yeah. I like him as Scorpion. Your boy's. I saw you shout out your boy on MK2. What's his name? Justin. What's it, Justin? No.
Not Justin.
Shit, I can't remember. He's playing Coburn.
Lewis.
He's playing Coburn.
Lewis.
Right? Look, there you go. Mortal Kombat. I'm looking it up. No, I can't get up.
Louis Tan.
Louis Tan. No, it's written by fucking Ed Boon and John Tobias, bro. The two godfathers of MK. I just found that out now. Anyway, you got to talk to him about what the character he's playing. A lot of people have been speculating on who Cole is.
I'm excited for that.
I haven't talked to him.
I'm excited because I'm thinking his character is Cole Young or some shit. He's the only one who's not a real
Character.
Mortal Kombat
MK
character. My theory
Right.
personally is I think he's playing Kuai Liang, Sub-Zero's brother.
Maybe.
That's my theory. Because this
I don't even
Sub-Zero's...
know that. I don't even know that backstory.
No, okay, Sub-Zero's got a brother who's Kuai Liang. He's Bihan. This current one, the bad Sub-Zero, is Bihan. You remember this? You watched Scorpion's Revenge. Remember we reviewed that last time.
Yeah, I love that Scorpion's Revenge.
I hope it's that. No, it looks like it's gonna be that brutal. Anyway, so Scorpion kills him, and Bihan dies and becomes Noob Saibot, the Black Ninja. So Kuai Liang becomes the next Sub-Zero. But then so there's like this whole brother dynamic with those two. That's my theory. I'm hoping because
the new Sub-Zero is a good guy.
yes, Kuai Liang. That's who I'm guessing Cole. I mean, your boy Louis Stan's gonna be playing. That's a theory,
Maybe.
right?
Who knows?
That's just like
You know, back in the day when I was playing that video game at the arcades, I always thought Sub-Zero was the good guy.
right.
I mean, because you know you can't be a good guy if you're taking off your hood and you got a skeleton. You're looking like
Ghost Rider.
Scorpion, right?
You're looking like Ghost Rider underneath your hood and melting.
I got a cool story about that video game, the original Mortal Kombat.
Go.
So I got to be really good friends with the guy who played Liu Kang on the video game, Hosung Pak. So Hosung told me, he goes, I was the only one who got a SAG contract on doing that video game. I said, oh shit. He goes, Sonny, I paid bang, man. Everybody else was non-union. He got a union contract to do that. I was like, nice.
What does that mean, bro? How important is getting a SAG card?
Okay, so there are standards and rates, meaning how much you get paid and all these conditions of work conditions that have to meet a standard. So, say for example, from what I understand nowadays, it's about $1,000 a day for a standard stuntman's rate. I can't quote on what actors get.
Okay.
We're not talking about a name actor or supporting actor. That's different. We're talking a bit player, someone who comes in for a day, says a couple lines or whatever. That's different. But for a stuntman, I think it's about $1,000 a day now.
Okay.
And that's for an 8-hour day.
That's
If
good
you
work
go
right there.
over 8 hours,
Double
you start to
money.
make overtime,
overtime pay
Okay.
right? So if you divide up,
plus 50%, right?
it's 8. No, that's Canada.
Okay.
Canada buys you out 150% because they don't get residuals. SAG, you get residuals. I'm still getting checks from 1994, bro.
That's what's up
Yes.
right there. Why are you still working? You must love it.
It's love,
No, dude.
guys.
The thing about it is that yeah, you can make a good living doing it, but you still a hired hand. You're not in control, you know. So for me, the game is to get into that producer's position so you get the big piece of pie,
Isn't that
and you
the
be
best?
the content creator.
Isn't that the best?
You know what's up with this, pal?
I know, that's why I'm smiling. I'm just waiting for you to
finish. Getting a check in the mail that you don't expect to come. And
Yeah, can you explain
Dude,
that? Can you
I
explain
got-
it to Willie? You got to explain it better, bro. Yeah.
I got some stories about that. Okay,
There you
so
go.
let me tell you.
But
Let me tell you like these.
Before you go, let me just. I find some spare change in a pocket, and I'm excited.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I pull like 500 pesos out of a pocket, and I'm like, woo! Let's go to Jamba Juice. So I'm
Right.
like,
Sonny's got something
I'm-
on
similar.
a whole nother level.
I'm totally like that. So I'll relate to you 3 stories. I did a McDonald's commercial that was promoting the Power Ranger collector's toy or whatever, right? And
I've never heard this one before.
so what happened with that was the ad agency contacted Saban Brands, who owns Rangers at that time, and they were like, oh, you know, we'd like to use your performers so that, you know, the moves are authentic. And the guy who's running the marketing department said, Sonny, you know, we'd love to use you, but we can't afford to pay the residuals. I said, well, okay, so long as we get the day rate, right? This is cool, we don't get the residuals as long as we get the day rate. Then I get a call from a central casting agency, which casts extras. And they're like, hey, so we got your names and we just wanted to make sure that we're agreeable to the rate. I go, what's the rate? And they said, it's this much. I go, no, ma'am, that's extra rate. We aren't extras, you know? We're not even specialty extras. We're the real deal. Mm-hmm. So I called the guys that were supposed to do that shoot with me, and I said, listen, if they call you, turn it down, because that's not what they agreed to. So sure enough, they call back and they go, all right, so we're going to pay you the day rate. I'm like, cool. So we shoot this commercial, and all I did was this. This was for Lightspeed Rescue, Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue. Mm-hmm. It's just a formation of us in like a V formation, and everybody just strikes their signature pose. That's it. Maybe two seconds on screen, right? Cool, whatever, walk away. About maybe a month and a half later, I go out to my mailbox, and there are like this thick of envelopes. I'm like, what's this? I open that up, paycheck 2,000, paycheck 5,000, paycheck. Dude, those paychecks ran for about 13 weeks.
Damn.
They didn't.
Why does it vary?
They messed up.
Why is it 3,000 one time and 5,000 the next? Why is it?
It depends on how much it shows on TV.
That's the residual.
Does it show during prime time? Does it show during the afternoon? Is it in a wild spot where they just throw it in because they have some time or whatever? So you never know what's going to show. But yeah, 13 weeks is the cycle that normal commercials will run. So after 13 weeks, if they want to reuse it, they have to pay you again.
That checks will start coming again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So off that commercial, we probably made about 25 grand. For me, just doing this.
Back in the day, that's a down payment on a house right there.
Right. Okay. Fast forward to another commercial I'm doing, and this one's for a regional. So that one, national, McDonald's is one of those big, huge national campaigns. So there's also a different category for regional or national, right? Mm-hmm. I did a regional commercial for a restaurant chain based out of Texas called Steak and Shake. And I rehearsed one day. I was jumping from the top of like a ski chalet. I'm on a wire and rehearsing the jump down. Probably jumping down, landing maybe about 18 feet, something like that. And on the next day, where we're actually doing the shoot, the first jump I did, the director said, "Oh, it looks too slow, so you need to let him drop faster." Oh, sure. And that changed my whole trajectory.
Oh, trajectory.
Right, because what I was doing, I was landing on a 6-inch pad, mm-hmm. But with the speed, it dropped me faster, so my foot hit on the edge of the pad and I twisted my ankle. If I didn't have high top boots on, I would have snapped my foot for sure. So they took me to the hospital and checked it out. Yeah, I actually ended up getting workers' comp, but in the meantime, I thought, fuck, I'm going to be at this commercial, you know, so I got to get back. I told the doctor I can handle, just tape this bad boy up. And they're like, nah, they already found a replacement, so he's already on set working. I'm like, fuck, I'm out of money. Yeah. But month and a half later, going to the mailbox, oh, shit, what's this? Steak and Shake. Because I worked on that day, they had to pay me residuals.
Still.
Wow.
Man, I wish we fucking get something.
And you got the workman's comp.
All right. Last one. And I got a ton of them, but this one's cool. This one's cool. So the movie Act of Valor.
Oh, go.
Okay. The movie Act of Valor. I had the longest run as a stuntman on that movie, and then I was offered a bit role too. So I probably got in about a month, maybe a month and a half worth of work. And because there were so few stuntmen on that show, everybody got decent residuals. But my boy Craig, who lives in Hawaii, calls me up. He goes, "Yo, you get your checks yet?" I go, "Checks for what?" He goes, "After Valor." I said, "Nah, I didn't get nothing." He goes, "Better call SAG because I got a nice check and I know you had the longest run of all of us." So I called SAG and they're like, "Did you change your address or anything?" I said, "Yeah, I changed it on the website." They said, "Oh, well, sometimes the website doesn't reflect on our records, so you got to come in and physically fill out a form to say that you have an address change." I said, "All right, well, I'll do that on Monday." I think it was a Friday when I called, and I go, "Can you check if I have anything in?" And the lady goes, "Yeah, sure." She comes back, she goes, "Yeah, you need to get in here as soon as possible." I said, "How much do I have?" She goes, "You have one check for $34,000 for active Valor." I was like, "Oh, damn." She goes, I said, "What do you mean one check?" She goes, "You got another $5,000 to $7,000 in checks from other stuff." I was like,
But these, let's say they play Active Valor somewhere again, like it's on Hulu or whatever. You still get the checks, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
Every time it's shown.
Well, imagine this, right? So that's decent money, right? It's decent money. But I have friends that get $100,000 plus checks all the time
For shit they've done how long ago?
1990.
Well, you know, it's the first check that comes through is when the movie first releases. It's like Pirates of the Caribbean. You know, a couple of my boys made like 100 plus on that first check. You know, so a working stuntman in Hollywood who's union will probably, on the low end, if he's working a lot, make at least 60 to 70,000. If you are working like crazy, you can make upwards to about maybe 200, 250.
When you say crazy, that's what, 7-day weeks?
No, you never work 7-day weeks.
Okay, so what's like crazy? 5 days?
It's based on a weekly is based on a 5-day work week.
5 days.
If you work a 6-day, that's crazy overtime.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And additional fees and all this kind of stuff. I mean, bro, this is how dope the union is. If you miss meals, like when you first check in the set, you're supposed to get a hot breakfast. 6 hours from the time that you check in, you're supposed to get a hot meal, lunch. If you're working beyond lunch, plus 8 hours, you're supposed to get another every 6 hours, dinner, right? So,
Man.
in a 12-hour period, you're supposed to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. If you miss a meal on the time where it's scheduled, they start racking up. Every 30 minutes that you miss a meal. So, my last story.
Go.
On the movie Cradle to the Grave, that was the one where my boy Mark Costco's fought Jet Li, right? And co-star was DMX, right? So I'm doubling one of the actors, and my call time is like maybe 11 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And but my stuff is supposed to be a night shoot, so we have to wait for the sun to go down and all that stuff. Well, it's getting super late, man. 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. I'm like, what's going on here? I asked one of the PAs, what's the deal? What's the holdup? They said, DMX took off to New York without telling anybody. So we're waiting on him to fly back. We're waiting on him to fly back.
DMX was smoking crack.
DMX just took off, didn't tell anybody. So they have to fly him back to set. Right? We're waiting for him to come back. In the meantime, there wasn't any catering on set. So I didn't have breakfast, I didn't have lunch, I didn't have dinner. Now, there's a catering truck, but they're supposed to serve you. You know what I mean? I could go in there and make sandwiches and all that kind of stuff and have all these snacks from craft services if I want. And I did. But by the time that DMX came on set and I shot my stuff, I finished probably like 3:30 in the morning for a scene that maybe took 2 hours to shoot.
Okay.
I racked up overtime, golden time, which is shooting past 12 o'clock. Went from overtime, time and a half, to double time, and then all the meal penalties for one night where I just sat in the passenger seat of a truck of the SUV that's being chased by DMX, and we just turned into an alley. I probably made almost five grand. Thank you, DMX.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But
Right?
yeah,
And I get residuals from Cradle to the Grave to this day too.
Yeah, because that movie still pops up.
exactly.
Yep.
Shit.
So it's definitely worth it. And it's sad because you know what? It'll never happen here. Ever.
You know
Never
what?
happened
You know what? Now this
Don't
is
say
the
never.
whole reason-
Go, Willie.
No, it never will. Never will. I'll give you some stories anyway. But this is the whole reason why all these big companies in America, going all the way back to the 40s and 30s and 20s, were trying to bring down the unions.
Yep.
All these companies were trying to squash the unions, man. Now let me tell you why there will never ever be a union here, and I'll use the PBA as an example.
Go.
Okay. Me, Willie Wilson, I go and I get all the players to have a meeting and I say, guys, let's unionize. And they say, why? And I say, because it'll get us better benefits. It'll get us free agency. It'll get us higher salaries, higher base salaries. The floor will go up. All of that. I'll promise them that, hey, I'll be the president of the union, and I'll get you guys everything that you want, from the last guy in the roster to the star player. Now, word gets back to the PBA, or word gets back to the PBA teams. The PBA team will go to their star player, and they'll be like, "What's going on? Why are you talking about this union this, union that? Don't we take care of you? What do you want? We'll take care of you. Just don't unionize." Everybody will try to take care of themselves first. Whereas when you think about the big picture, the whole group, wherein if we unionize, they have to take care of us regardless.
Yep.
Because we're a union. Now, what does union mean? That when one sits out, we all sit out.
Yep.
What do you mean we all sit out?
Now, if you're part of the union and we strike, we all strike. Meaning, one doesn't play, we all don't play. That's what it means to be part of the union. Now, you heard the term crossing the line.
Uh-huh.
When you cross that line,
The picket line.
that's a no-no. You're not part of the union anymore.
You're scrub.
You can't do that. You see what I'm saying? Now, being part of the union, if you decide to strike or picket or whatever you want to call it, remember, you will not be getting paid. Which is why if your union is strong, they're taking care of you. The union also, you pay your union dues. So the union
So you
also
pay your
has
dues.
money. Yeah. So for those times when yeah, man, we need better pay, or we need better benefits, or we need a hot meal at this time, and then this time, and then this time, and they're not putting in on that. Oh, it's time to strike. So we're all gonna sit out. You see what I'm saying? All those guys, man, Tom Hanks, all those actors, they're part of the union, right?
Yeah.
See?
But there's so many unions. There's the Directors Guild, there's the Producers Guild, there's the Actors Guild, and there's the Writers Guild, there's the Teamsters. who run all the transportation vehicles and all that kind of stuff. So all these various unions that work together. There has been a movement for some time now to favor the producers, meaning that, you know, what the producers want to pay and so on and so forth. A lot of the actors who came from SAG have become producers and have sided with the producers because, right, they're producers now, you know? So it's kind of turning your back on where you came from, and I think that sucks. But I get it. I understand it's big business. So am I hating on them? Not necessarily. I'm just saying always try to give a fair break for everybody. You know what I mean?
Right.
This whole notion of a residual payment system is actually really quite outdated. But because it's been established for so long, I think since late 60s or early 70s, that no one wants to give it up. The producers would love to get rid of it, of course.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, they save money.
Why give it up? Why would you? It's a good system.
No. It will
It's great.
give it up because you don't have to pay as much.
It's great
You
for
don't have
the
to pay.
actors. It's great for the actors.
Right? So they were happy when AFTRA merged with SAG.
What's
Because
after?
AFTRA was working, it's another union that is like SAG but different in terms of, I think it's called American Federation of Radio and Television, AFTRA. SAG is Screen Actors Guild. So the producers were happy when AFTRA came into the scene when SAG was striking, because AFTRA was didn't have to pay as much residuals. So SAG thought they had all this power. Oh, they can't do without us. The producer said, "Yeah, okay. Hey, AFTRA, can we talk to you?" And SAG was like, right. So SAG was like anti-merger. They didn't want to join with AFTRA.
Of course, that's not beneficial for them. Yeah.
Right. But then, like, within a year or 2 years' time, all the TV shows went after it. SAG was like, "Hey, let's merge," because they were losing big time, man. Right. And now we have something called new medium, which is streaming. So
shit, that too.
That's kind of fucked up, you know. You can't count how many times someone watches your movie on a streaming platform, right? So you should, in fairness, compensate somebody fairly in terms of, like what you were talking about, Willie, where the Canadians, the Canadian unions pay 150%. 100% of what you worked for plus 50% of considered royalties. And sometimes you make out better than getting residuals, right? But with new media, the producers have found a way.
That's the way to do it. I mean, and then you don't have to worry about, you know, down the line.
Right.
But here's my question, though.
We'll just throw this on top, and that's it.
What's it?
Yep.
My question is, bro, you said you started off with new media. Is that the new direction now that, especially that COVID is? I mean, streaming has been developing over the past couple of years, right? You know where I'm going with this, right? So now,
absolutely, cinema is going to be a specialty thing.
Would you say dead?
You know,
for how long? What's the?
No. Cinema's not dead. It's just not going to be the moneymaker that it used to be. Because think about it, right? How much does Netflix cost in the Philippines? $3?
It's like 150 pesos a month.
Exactly.
Yeah,
$3, right? $3. How many movies do you get for the whole month?
Great.
How much do you pay for one movie to go into the theater? 250 pesos, at least.
At least.
Minimum.
Who's going to want to pay that?
I'm getting the lazy boy, so I'm getting the lazy boy, man. I'm spoiled.
But that's the truth, right? Look, bro,
500.
you could get a 70-inch TV, high def TV with a
4K.
badass sound system in the comfort of your own massage chair, right? why would you necessarily have to go to the theater anymore?
Experience.
And hear other people talking while you're trying to watch the movie.
Yeah. No, but you and me, well, the three of us actually, we're all cinephiles. We like going the experience.
I'll pay to wait to watch the movie in its first week.
There too. That's what. That's
I'll
another thing.
I'll pay for that. And for me, that I get to date my wife.
See,
I get to take my kids to watch Toy Story when
Right.
you know, and I get to see it. I mean, yeah, 70-inch TV is great, but that ain't nothing compared to that
IMAX.
cinema view.
Well, yeah, no, I'm in agreement with. I'm total agreement with you. But the way the technology has been working,
that bass and
totally. Look, man.
Feel it all in here.
You go to a premium theater here. You go to like High Street's 4D theater where the seats are bouncing up and down and smoke is blowing at you.
You got air blowing in your.
What do you spend? $10, right? $10, 500 pesos.
Yeah.
You know how much something like that would cost in the U.S.? At least $35.
really?
At least.
Yep.
Yes.
And you get unlimited popcorn and soda.
Right?
How much?
Right.
Three flavors of popcorn. You get your cheese.
$35 is 1,650 pesos, something like that.
Shit, triple the price.
I'd still pay that to watch Avatar on its opening.
On a 4DX, yeah, same here. I would too.
Man, Avatar on that. I mean, IMAX Avatar.
Yo, let me tell you.
Remember
Okay,
remember
since we're
that-
talking Avatar, this kind of it pisses me off, but I'm happy for him. My cousin, who I got into the industry, he was a dancer, phenomenal movement guy. I got him on the Rundown with The Rock because my friend Andy was the stunt coordinator.
Love that movie too.
Right. So Andy goes, Sonny, hey man, you know anybody who looks like you, but they need to be shorter than 5'7"? I go, yeah. I got this guy. I give him all the names, my Eskrima teacher, my friend Kimo, and my cousin Nito. They all end up working 3 months. I get 2 weeks for a different scene.
So they were
Right?
part of Ernie's crew, huh?
Yes,
lines,
exactly.
lines.
So remember the last shot where the Rock gets hit by the flaming piece of wood that knocks him out?
Yeah.
That's my cousin.
What?
So
Crazy.
he runs with it, right? He realizes that dancing ain't paying the bills the way stunts could. So he gets heavily involved in stunts. He was one of the main motion capture actors for Avatar.
Shit.
There were three main motion capture actors. He was one of them.
That's dope. That's
Jake
dope.
Sully.
He made. I don't know how much he got in his bank account, but he probably got at least 500,000 in his bank account. At least.
Shit.
That's nice.
Plus the residuals, that motherfucker's still
nice.
showing in.
Dude, he's buying houses left and right.
Yeah,
He'll fly.
That's like 30 million pesos right there.
He flies all over the U.S. to watch basketball games and football games. That nigga making
That's a nice life, man. That's a nice life.
right,
Nice life.
right. And so here I am working in the Philippines.
It ain't that bad.
I know. You always think it's
worse. It can be worse. It could be much worse than that.
No. I'm just fucking around. Because at the end of the day, it was my choice to be here.
You could have been working in Myanmar or something.
Right. But the truth of the matter is,
Who wants to work in Myanmar, right?
especially now. Dude.
Money.
Now they've got-
I personally, for myself, I don't need a lot. I know what it's like to live with a silver spoon in my mouth. I know what it's like to eat top ramen for the whole week. You know what I mean?
Hey, we've all been there.
Right?
I love
So
me some
I'm
top
good.
ramen.
So long as I feel like I'm being productive and constructive and giving back some way, somehow, don't get me wrong, the money would be nice, but I need to feel like I have purpose.
You get that fulfillment either way.
Yeah, I don't want to be just doing this stuff because I make money. I can work at McDonald's and make money. right?
It's for the love.
That's why I fuck with Pael, because he's all about spreading what's up here. That's why I
Yeah,
fuck with
man.
Pael.
Well, if ever you guys want to give up that life and just say I'm about to make the money, do you know that In-N-Out burger manager makes $160,000 a year?
Hell no.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
You know what? I look back at my childhood, and I didn't really aspire to much. I mean, obviously, I wanted to be a professional athlete. Who doesn't, right? But I didn't aspire to be a doctor or a lawyer or anything like that. I looked at the dude that was boxing my groceries at Costco, and I was like, man, I want to do that. No,
You want to do that? You don't want to do that?
No, I wanted to do that. I was like, man, I'm like in junior high school or something like that, and it's weird because I'm like, man, I could do this, and like I said, I didn't aspire to much. I mean, because I wasn't raised around anything, man. I'm from the San Fernando Valley, and it ain't nothing there. I swear to God, like it wasn't anything there. So, I mean, I was a product of my environment. It just so happened that I'm half Filipino,
And good at ball. Don't
yeah, and I ended up being.
Will, how old are you, man? How old are you?
I'm 41 now.
Okay, so yeah, you're about a decade or so behind me, and you're from the valley, right?
Right.
Where in the valley?
Pukoima.
Oh, damn, you in the hood.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Look at Sonny being all elitist and shit, bro. No, I'm just kidding.
Look, my mom was the only Filipino in Pukoima. I'm telling you, like legit. My mom was the only Filipino in Pukoima. We had a whole bunch of Vietnamese people because they owned the hair shops and the nail shops and the liquor, and we had a whole bunch of Koreans because they owned the liquor stores. Now, we're talking about a city that, number one, didn't have its own high school, didn't have a mall, where we had a bunch of liquor stores, and we had 4 apartment projects. 4 different apartment projects. So when I say that I didn't aspire to much, I mean that in the truest form, because I wasn't raised around anything. You know, like what I've seen now, being in the Philippines and going to all these other different countries, I can look back and I'd be like, man, if only I had known. But my parents were workers; they were blue collar, so I could have been like, man, I could have aspired to be a businessman and try to own apartment complexes and stuff like that, because those make bank. You get to a piece of land, and then you just build an apartment complex. It could be just 2 stories, and you got like 10 units. You're straight.
Yeah.
But see, I wasn't raised around that. So when people ask me where I'm from and I say Pacoima, they're like, where? Because you don't hear of Pacoima. You hear of Burbank, and I'm 15 minutes away from Burbank.
And son is all like, you in the hood, son.
You hear of Granada Hills, because and I'm 20 minutes away from Granada Hills, and that's where all the porn movies are filmed. In Granada Hills. I think we lost Sonny.
I know. Sonny, you there?
His picture's loading.
I know. Will be paused.
I hope he didn't run out of data.
I know. Yeah, I think he's using data.
Yeah.
Wait,
no, I know how that internet. Yeah, we lost him.
Go.
All right. So yeah. Before we were cut off, I was talking about other cities that are in my vicinity, like Granada Hills and Burbank and where else would I say? I mean, when we talk about Valencia, where Ali is from, you say those, like Burbank, you say that city, Glendale. I'm 20 minutes away from those cities, and everybody knows, like Silmar, everybody knows where those places are, because those are established cities. They got money. But you say Pacoima, they're like, where? Huh? Yo.
Well, I knew all about Pacoima.
Sonny.
I knew all about Pacoima because my best friends used to live in Pacoima. So
not Filipino though,
you know,
right?
we were
Mexican.
No, she was black.
Oh, there you go, black. So Sonny, let me tell you this. Legit. I was a 10-minute walk away from where Rodney King got beat down. My house that I grew up in is a 10-minute walk away. The place where that video was shot from, the video recording of Rodney King getting beat down in is the same apartment complex where my good friend was living at.
Wow.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, Sonny, I want
Straight
you.
along Foothill Boulevard. Foothill Boulevard. Straight up.
All right. Right.
I'm right down the street. I used to walk there to get to school because I went to school up in that area.
Okay, I want to start back to the geekosphere, bro. Sonny, we're talking something about the IP and how important IP is right now, bro. Can you expound more on that shit on your end?
So, yeah. When you
Sorry,
have,
really, I know you
when
were
you
a
are
memory
content
thing,
creator, right? When you are the content creator, you essentially own all the rights, copyright, trademark, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody who uses your idea, tries to buy your idea, can be sued for breach of copyright.
Mm-hmm.
If they straight out use your product or service, they owe you. You can license your stuff out, but never sell your copyright. That's what's happening with a lot of singer-songwriters nowadays. And stories about what's her name, Tony Braxton broke, or TLC being broke, is they didn't own their songs.
Back in the day, yeah.
When you signed that contract with the company, right?
They got all advances, right? But they got to pay those advances back, thinking that they thought it was free money. So the danger of being a creative is you don't understand the business, and then you end up letting someone else handle all the business aspects of it without you monitoring or supervising what they're doing with that stuff. So you hear these horrors about, taking all that money from their clients.
Mm-hmm.
So it's super important to know the business aspect of what you're doing as a creative. When you own intellectual property,
Mm-hmm. Oh, there goes that way.
IP.
Uh-oh.
You have, I'm going to put this in terms of script. Okay. You register your. Still there? Hello?
It's a bit laggy. Yeah.
I'm here.
There you go. Okay.
Okay. So I was saying that in terms of like writing a script, you register it with either the Library of Congress or the Writers Guild of America.
No, but
So
for
now
someone,
it becomes a copyrighted material.
let me be more selfish and point to something I sent you earlier today. Like something like the comic that I sent you.
Yeah.
Like how does that
Right.
fly? Well, first let me know what you think. While you told me, you're like a little bit of a review, non spoilers, because I don't think we're not. That's like
Okay. So first of all, I love the humor of it. I love the colors
shout
of
out
it.
to Wincy.
It's like it's for me, the way I read it is for intelligent readers.
Nice. Yeah. Okay.
You gotta understand the lingo. You gotta know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
It might be masa kind of knowledge, but it's not stuff that people are gonna really think deeply about. It's for people that think. So it's dope. I love that. The colors are dope.
Thanks, brother.
That the drawing style for me is like a little anime influence.
Of course.
A little bit anime influence with big eyes and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
But it's original, which is dope. I love it. It's dope. It reminds me, if you will, of like what V for Vendetta was about. You know what I'm talking
Something
about?
like that. Yeah, it gets a bit political. It's still got the action underneath though. Yeah.
Right.
And
Right.
here's my next
So,
question. Go. Finish.
well, I was just saying, in terms of comics, um, shoot, man, I was that geek. I used to collect comics from '70s, from to mid '80s when I moved away to college. But
You used to draw too. You
through
still draw, right?
I used to draw. I used to draw. Yeah. I mean, I went to Cal State Northridge for commercial illustration of all things.
Mhm.
So yeah, I appreciate comics for what they are in terms of art. It educated me a lot because there were words in there I had to look up in the dictionary. What the hell does that mean? You know what I mean? You're 12, 13-year-old kid, and these big words. I'm like, I've never heard that word. Let me look it up in the dictionary. So
Mhm.
while it's been pandered down to be kiddie, it's not. It's very adult.
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah.
And look at what we're watching now in terms of movies.
Mhm.
It's only now that they can properly do them because the technology has
It's
caught
caught
up.
up. Yep, it has caught up, man. So the story is it's a cyberpunk story, a Pinoy version of cyberpunk. Now I've announced this before, and I want to do this on the podcast right now because Willie and Ali and Roby are already characters in the story, and my next up is you and Elric, motherfucker. So what
There
I
you
want to
go.
ask is, because just so you know, bro, Willie, Ali, and Rovi are gonna be basureros. That's gonna be their character. I know already an
Okay.
idea for Alric. He hasn't been on the podcast, so I haven't been able to tell him. But I'm telling you. But my question is, I want to place you as a character in it, bro. What would you be? Because Elric, I'm thinking would be like a sensei of, because we got like ninja sisters in the next episode. So where do you
Okay.
help me imagine? I've been trying to imagine you, so and then I ended up thinking like, why don't I just fucking ask him? What will be Sunny in the
All
world of
right.
fucking Tulisan control, motherfucker? Willie, you can
Okay.
chime in. You can
So
help out with this shit. What do you see Sunny as? I was thinking pimp, but it's kind of cliche. But I really was thinking pimp, bro. Because there's a segment on kidnapping and violence against women and shit that I want to tackle in a story. But it's kind of cliche. But I want you to run with it. Whoever wants to go first.
you know what? I can call myself this or that, but it's always how other people perceive you to be, right?
Yes.
So it'll be interesting to hear what Willie has to say.
There you go, Willie. Come on.
Well, I mean, I'm a little biased because like knowing your background and with martial arts and I'd see you just like being the leader of a team of just badass ninjas or some shit, like some badass like a crew just of mixed martial artists, mercenaries or some shit.
There you go. Bad guy or good guy?
Nah, like
I-
probably like an anti-hero, maybe something like that. Not bad,
Green.
but yeah, but like he'll do something bad, but for the right reasons, like or like his intent was to be good, but man, I got to do some bad shit to get to this result.
Okay.
Kinda like
Okay.
that.
Now that we got like
So
the general.
Filipino Punisher.
There you go.
Okay. We got that. We got the stereotype
hey,
down, but I want to boil it down.
I gotta cop out. I gotta knock this cop out because I gotta kill the bad guy.
No, I got that. So let's make it in a Filipino cyberpunk setting. What would that be? You know what I mean? Like you guys are basureros. Sunny would be blank. You know what I mean? I'm just messing around.
You know what though? Here's what would be dope.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's not so obvious. It's not so obvious.
There you go. There you go. Go hit me.
If you imagine, what do you think oftentimes is like the most unassuming guy?
Unassuming guy.
Yep.
Do you have something in mind?
You would never think that, oh, he's that guy.
Janitor? I don't,
Something like that. No, you're not that far off. Think
right?
about
That's
it.
what I'm saying. That's why I want you.
That cuts my hair.
So make me the guy that goes to selling balut or some shit like that.
There you go. That
There
balut,
you
I like
go.
that
That's
shit.
what's up right there.
There you go. There you go. Now my mind's racing, man.
What
Because-
was what's his name? The dude in the John Wick movie, the last one, the Asian guy. What's his name again?
The Casco.
Zero.
Yeah.
Zero, yeah, my boy.
The dude cut sushi. He cut sushi in a little one of the little pop-up shops.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you'll be the balut. I like the balut. That's very Pinoy. And it's like, I'm going to put it in the setting of the year 3000, man. So, yeah. Okay, there you go. Because pimp is like, it's a
Well, when
bit
you-
generic, though.
If you think about it too, your street peddlers are up and down the neighborhoods.
Exactly.
So their eyes and ears know what's happening out there.
And then he got a team, and then he has a whole
Genius.
team of just like people that sell balut or on
Yeah,
the corner
there you
selling
go.
quick,
Okay.
or cooking barbecue on the corner.
I got a barbecue scene. Remember that barbecue scene I put in there?
His
That might be like a
so he
foreboding
got
for that.
his ears to the street.
Because what inspired me to produce it was I interviewed Wills, your boy Wills. Bro, by the way, can you float that over to Wills? You think Wills would like that?
You want to send it to him?
Yeah, why not? Can you? Or is that too much? No. Why?
He might buy you.
What? He might what? You got cut.
He might buy your shit.
So what if he bites the shit? Why is that a bad thing?
It's your property. You don't want right.
I'll still remain. I just want him to fucking see it. Isn't that a good path or like acknowledge? Explain. Why are you shaking your head? Why? I thought that was a good idea, or maybe that's like a passing idea.
You say
You don't
buy,
need look.
or bite.
I know. That's why I was
Bite.
I want him to bite.
Meaning he's gonna copy.
Like
He's gonna
steal.
copy your shit.
Steal.
He's gonna steal it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But wasn't that the spirit?
Yeah, man.
Wasn't that the spirit of Image this whole time? You know what I mean? Like they would. They're gonna be promoting.
If Image is gonna go back up, I'll tell you the truth. Don't get with Image. Get with Milestone.
Are they as open to? Is Milestone indie though? Still more than Image?
No. Milestone is, from what I understand. All right. So Dennis Cowan is my boy, right? He's the creator of Static Shock.
Yep.
He used to draw the question, right? He drew Batman. He drew Black Panther. He's bringing it back, and they're going to be looking for content. So you don't go with Image. Go with Milestone.
Because if my understanding,
Dennis, no. Don't get me wrong. Will's is cool as hell. You know I'm gonna do a podcast with him, right?
I was gonna get there
But-
next, but let's do that last. Don't worry.
But-
Uh-huh.
Right? I'm just saying, at the end of the day, you already got a really, really great product. Go to the top. Go to whoever's publishing if you're interested in getting it to the US, right?
Of course, for sure.
But
Trece style, bro.
my belief is who's gonna support your comic the most? Pinoy's will.
Exactly.
Get it out here.
Of course. No. It's gonna be out here, but you know, just to quote Bruce Lee's dad in the movie The Dragon, make a sound so loud in the States that it reaches us here in the Philippines, in Hong Kong in this case, but something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but the comic book readers in the Philippines are not are unlike any other comic reading culture in the world.
Okay.
Crazy.
Yeah, we are a bit.
So
Small number though. It's
get
small.
people here talking about it. Look, right?
Oh.
Attack Marvin. I mean, so what? What do we have? freaking pictures, right? From caring for me, right? It's just like, oh man, people try to do pretty good stuff. Don't get me wrong. We need
Wait.
new heroes.
Pause on your
We need new material.
New material. There you go. Yeah, exactly. New material. That's why. But then now that we have, you've seen it. I mean, Willie's seen it a couple of times, but not this whole run yet. Where do we bring this? That's my question. Where do we shift it or send it?
That's. You know what? I would like drop a couple panels online, just to whet people's appetite.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's on your own page or dude, create your own comic book page.
We already have.
We've
done
that.
Yeah, we've
but
done it.
create that page.
We have a
and
domain
drop
already.
a couple panels here and there, right?
Okay.
You guys interested? Just like you did me. Are you interested in seeing more? You know what I mean? What do you guys think? So you get ideas from everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Are they buying? Are they feeling it? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So put it out there. You don't need. At the end of the day, when you have enough people that are interested or really into it, and social media gets out there, people start talking, then you have the publisher coming to you. Hey man, I heard about you got this thing. Look, Joe Rogan was putting up his own podcasts on YouTube, right?
Yep.
Initially, he was doing them for free. Then he started monetizing them so people could advertise while his podcasts were playing. Then all of a sudden, Spotify picks him up for $100 million.
Exactly. Yeah. No, but that's 10 years in the making too. Yeah.
Were you willing to wait 10 years to make $100 million?
I am.
I don't mind.
Right?
No, wait, bro. Let me go back because I think I'm not understanding the what do you call this, the matrix, right? Isn't Image someone who produces, create their own content that they just make 2% out of the books? Isn't that how they work?
I'm not sure what their platform is. Might be, right? But that's Rob, right? Rob Sheffield.
Liefeld, yeah. The boys. That's still Rob Liefeld. I think they're all still partners because Image is still a thing.
Wills was a part of them for a beat. I'm not sure if he's with them anymore.
He's
back
not.
to drawing for Marvel, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Wow, I was expecting.
So
that
at
to be
the end of the day, if you want, I could ask some of the guys back home, in terms of how does Milestone work or how does Image work.
Yeah, because I remember when I told you about this project, you're like, and I asked you, who do you think we could give this to? And you're like, me. So now, my dream is in your hands, brother.
You know what? All right. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah,
we'll
figure it out.
End of the day, it's all about how you promote the market.
Of course. Yeah.
You know who's really good at this shit is my boy Winston, because Winston owns a what's this? He's a publicist
For publicist for like
for sports. I think that's of interest to him. He works a lot of NBA players.
Oh, okay.
He's Pinoy, so he'd be down. He would be down.
Game. And let's end on this, bro. Speaking of Wilson, the fucking podcast we teased, I saw you finally have decided, motherfucker, after 3 years of me barking at your ear to make your own podcast. You're doing it, bro. You're doing it. And you've said Go.
It was a different thing to motivate, though. Totally different, because I realized from what I was reading on a lot of people, there is this sense of hopelessness. People feeling like they're at a dead end. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Especially coming from a lot of young people. young people, man. I'm hearing it in the States. Some people are like, I can't get a break. I feel like I want to commit suicide. I'm like, shoot, where are these kids role models, man? Where are they getting their inspiration from? So I'm like, you know what? I know all these people that have been other acquaintances or work associates. Some people came from nothing and busted their ass, and I had we need to be able to get back to those people who don't feel that there's any.
Today's generation doesn't have that anymore.
Yes, mentorship is gone, man. We don't have that.
Another reason why that is because everything is now at our fingertips. So
that's another thing.
Exactly.
If we're getting things so quickly, why can't we get success so quickly? Why can't I get a six pack so quickly? I mean, I get everything else so quickly. So now, we're comparing everything to the internet. How it's all at our fingertips, and we don't know how to wait.
Right. So that's what this podcast will be all about. It's work to put in, understanding the foundation that you have to lay down and put in to learn the craft.
There you go.
I'm sure that all of us as children might have said, "This is where I want to go," but we're here. And I think that they need to have example, if not directly involved in their own passions or interests, at least can take the principles and go, that guy was kind of like me, and he made it in his thing. And he said, wow, he worked, he busted his butt off, he needed to be disciplined and this and that. At least he can draw some inspiration from somebody who may not be directly speaking to him, but indirectly speaks to him. You know what I'm saying?
That's always been a goal.
That's what I want to do with this podcast.
Exactly.
It ain't gotta be famous people. It doesn't have to be famous people, but people who have succeeded in their own definition of what success is. Then at least they feel whole. I feel like they have purpose. Right?
I love it.
That's it.
That's why it's called
for this podcast.
It's called
Living Extraordinary.
There it is.
Short enough.
Where can we get this at?
Haven't started yet. I'll start doing interviews next month.
Okay.
Because I'm still in lock-in and I want to do it with the proper equipment.
Right.
A lot of them will have to be online stuff, like what I'm doing right now. So I've got to make sure that I have a studio that has really good connectivity. Ideally, of course, in-person interviews are the best, but if we're not living in the same country, it's not possible, right? So, next month I'll start doing them, and I'm gonna put them on YouTube because that has the largest reach.
Okay.
Facebook's got a huge reach too, bro. It's got a huge reach too.
No. What I post on YouTube, I put on Facebook.
Man, that's so bad. What was it, bro?
You hear what I said?
No. The last part.
I put it on YouTube.
Oh man, we're losing him.
Am I here?
There you go. Sorry, go.
There you go.
It went
Okay.
Transformers on us.
One more time. I put it on YouTube, but I promote it on Facebook.
There you go. That's what I do too. Yeah, it's a big market. It's a big chunk of it, bro. Well, when I started the podcast, that was also cool.
And I've already got people. It's just not entertainment. It's not entertainment, Not just restricted to entertainment or marshals. I got friends that are lawyers, I got friends that are chefs. I got business owners. Dude, I'm talking to Willie Santos. I don't know if you guys know who Willie is, but he was like in a street skateboard.
The what?
And he's a part of Birdhouse with Tony Hawk.
Oh, there you go. Still pros.
Right?
He's a pro.
Yeah, the successful people.
Right. And these are successful people who follow their passions. What's happening, I think, in the world today is that there's this sense of, it's always been around, but even more so, it's now more emphasized, how important money is.
Exactly.
And everybody who I've met, anybody who I've met that has some depth to their character, have all followed their passions with hard work and then becoming smart work. And the money was a consequence, not the goal.
Love that.
Do what you love and love what you do.
Chase the dream, not the
That's
paper.
right. And when you do what you love, it's never work.
Right.
Right?
That's one of the things God. And this,
I mean, let's put it this way. Let's put it this way, Mr. Kung Fu Man.
yes, Sifu.
How long you have horse stance? A proper horse stance?
How long?
Yeah. When your dad said, do that horse stance, how long did you have to do it?
Shit, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, depends on how bad I was.
What did you like it?
No.
I didn't.
But it gave me fucking cement quads, bro. I still do it. But not as long though. I can't do the. But you know, yeah. It's a good analogy.
Right? Willie, when you was playing ball and your coach said run lines, did you like running lines?
Oh, no.
That's one of the things, bro.
That's fine.
In all our chats, bro, it's always
You know
something.
you need it, though.
Exactly. Yeah. It's the hard
I don't
work.
need it anymore.
No, for sure. I'm not thinking like I'm gonna hold a 5 minute, plus horse stance anymore.
Stance.
I got my foundation. I'm good.
Well,
Right.
just this evening,
Okay,
I
we
did a
paid
1
our
minute
dues.
one. It's still my legs were shaking as fuck. I did a horse stance and I was lifting weights here at the house. But that wasn't 5 minutes, man.
Well, it's a different mindset.
Yeah,
It's a different mindset. When I was all about it, my Sifu said, this was probably like in my mid-20s.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, mid-20s. He said, first thing you do when you get out of bed, first thing you do, you either hold a 1 minute horse stance or you go into splits.
Shit, I can't even do splits, bro.
I did that religiously.
I never even
Fuck.
stretched before I played.
What? I would.
Well,
Real talk.
but here's the thing, Willie.
Real talk.
No, Willie, here's the thing. I am probably one of the most unflexible people in the world. Truly.
But tough
I
as a
didn't
tank.
stretch when I ran track and field.
What? You guys
I
are
ran in
legends
high
for that
school
shit.
and I ran in college. I didn't stretch. And you know what? Most athletes don't stretch.
Never
What?
stretched.
Not properly.
Never pulled a muscle. Nothing.
Really? Shit.
Never
Because
pulled a
even
muscle.
before I do kung fu, I have like a whole routine of fucking at least
You know
5
what
minutes
the-
of stretching. And
You know what the
fucking-
studies say, right? The studies say that when you stretch, you relax the muscle. And when your muscle is relaxed, you lose explosion. You
Yeah.
lose power.
Because I
When you
couldn't kick
stretch.
high if I didn't stretch. That's for sure. Because earlier I was doing
A
kicks.
stretch,
I
a
needed to
stretch is
stretch.
good or acceptable for post exercise, post competition. But I still
Yeah.
never stretched. I still never stretched. I ain't got
But
time
no,
for that.
I mean, end of the day, I was like that guy that couldn't touch my toes. You know what I mean? Like I stood up, tried to bend over, touch my toes, I couldn't do it.
Same here.
But at the end of the day, it's like, pal, what does kung fu mean? Skill attained through hard work,
Yep.
right?
Which
And
entails time.
anything that anybody does well, and Willie, your basketball is your kung fu,
Right. Skill attained through hard work.
right?
Mhm.
Yes.
And
Your
time. I
your
think
comic
it's-
book is your kung fu.
You're
Yeah,
It's
hell yeah.
drawing.
It's about baby.
drawing. Not only is drawing, man, you got a lot of skill, man. You
Thanks.
see them little figurines and stuff.
Sonny's seen those.
Yeah.
Where's that?
Hot toys
Yeah.
what? Hot toys what?
Wait, I got a. This is my recent one. I did a Benicio del Toro. This one's some client work right here.
Oh shit! No. Aye.
Sicario. I need to get a better camera.
That's cool, man.
It ain't the collector.
There you go.
It ain't the collector from
Pretty
Garden.
sick.
The guy, the basurero man. Nah, Sonny's my balut guy. I'm gonna think of a nice balut name. I'm gonna let Wincy watch this, and we'll come up with something. Sonny and Elric. No, Elric I think will be in the second. I'll put Sonny on the third one. So you'll be the balut man who's got like super secret connections.
Hey, fellas, I gotta call it a night. It was
Well, let's close it up. Let's
Sonny.
close it up too. Yeah. You got an early day tomorrow. Any last thoughts,
No.
Sonny, Willie, before we close it up? And
Just keep on doing what we do, man. You know, there's people out there that wish they could do what we do, but that's just it. They wish, they don't do.
love it.
I love it.
With that, we shall end this episode, my man. Thank you so much, Sonny, for staying up. I know you also got a long day. Willie, you got practice at 6.
Yeah.
It's 11 past.
sir.
Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Like the page, Taglish Network, on Facebook and on YouTube. The show was Tambay TV. And now it's a publishing thing. Did you see my Tambay sign in the top of the comic, Sonny?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm using
congrats, man.
Tambay as
That's what's up, man. Blowing
the
up,
vehicle
blowing
for
up.
that. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Adios.